Good afternoon, viewers in Indonesia and Singapore. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of information from business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Clara Antawijaya, and this is Market Headlines. The Minister of Manpower, Ida Fauzia, confirmed that the disbursements of subsidy salary for workers for the second phase will be carried out today. However, the ministry revealed that the recipients of the second batch of the salary subsidy could be fewer than the first batch.
The Minister of Manpower, Ida Fauzia, confirmed that the disbursement of cash social assistance for workers with salaries below 5 million rupiah for the second phase will be carried out today. However, the minister said that the recipients of the second batch of salary subsidy could be fewer than the first batch. The reason is that some of the first batch of salary subsidy recipients had salaries above 5 million rupiah. Even so, the minister ensures that majority of recipients are workers with salaries below 5 million rupiah. Furthermore, the ministry will discuss with the Corruption Eradication Commission or KPK and the Supreme Audit Agency or BPK to minimize errors in distributing direct cash assistance. Meantime, for information, the government has allocated funds amounting to 37.7 trillion rupiah for salary subsidy for workers with salaries below 5 million rupiah. The target is that the funds are distributed to 15.7 million workers, and so far the salary subsidy has been distributed to 12.4 million recipients. Each recipient received a fund of 2.4 million rupiah. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
The government encourages the use of original Indonesian modern medicines in the domestic health industry. One of them is by providing super tax deductions up to 300% for pharmaceutical companies that carry out research and development on original Indonesian modern medicines.
Minister of Research and Technology Bambang Brojonegoro ensures that the government will continue to encourage the use of original Indonesian modern medicines. No half-hearted, the government even provides super tax deduction of up to 300% for companies that carry out research and investment development activities in Indonesian modern medicines.
Sebesar-besarnya kami mencoba mengalokasikan anggaran untuk riset, tentunya pasti ada keterbatasan. Jadi kami dalam melakukan riset dan pengembangan OMA ini tidak akan sendirian sebagai pemerintah, tapi kami juga akan menggandeng swasta. Dan alhamdulillah sudah ada Peraturan Menteri Keuangan nomor 153 tahun ini yang menyatakan bahwa ada super tax deduction, jadi pengurangan pajak sampai 300% bagi perusahaan yang melakukan R&D.
The minister added that this special tax incentive is intended to expand research activities related to the use of original Indonesian modern medicines. Considering that currently research activities related to original Indonesian modern medicines in Indonesia are still minimal, because it takes a long time to adjust to applicable scientific principles and cost, which is not cheap during the research process. From Jakarta, Ade Firmansyah for IDX Channel.
To elevate Indonesia's export, Ministry of Trade holds Trade Expo Indonesia 2020. At the same time, it is also one of Ministry's target to support Indonesia's economy in the fourth quarter this year.
Indonesian economy is officially entered recession zone in the third quarter after the latest data show that economy contracted by 3.49%. But this data is directly responded by the Ministry of Trade by holding Trade Expo Indonesia 2020. Minister of Trade Agus Suparmanto said that the Trade Expo is expected to elevate Indonesia's export, where the event will facilitate Indonesian businesses with foreign buyers virtually.
Kali ini akan diselenggarakan secara virtual, mengingat masih terjadinya pandemi COVID-19 di Indonesia dan dunia. Sosialisasi untuk menjaring buyer terus dilakukan. Kementerian Perdagangan juga bekerja sama dengan Kementerian Luar Negeri melalui 132 kantor perwakilan RI di luar negeri, 24 atasé perdagangan, 19 IPPC, Kamar Dagang di Taiwan dan konsul perdagangan di Hong Kong serta dubes WTO di Geneva.
By conducting Trade Expo Indonesia, Indonesia's export is expected to elevate so that the economy will be in accordance with the government's target on the level of -1% up to 0% in the last quarter of 2020, and Indonesia will be able to move out of economic recession zone. From Jakarta, Muhammad Olga for IDX Channel.
Financial Services Authority, or OJK, has prepared 6 strategy policy initiatives for 2021 to take up various developments and challenges in the financial services industry. These initiatives will be OJK's reference in implementing various policies.
Indonesia's Financial Services Authority, or OJK, has prepared 6 strategic policy initiatives for 2021. 6 of these initiatives include direction of development and supervision of the financial services sector, expansion of financial access in order to support public growth and national economic recovery, as well as strengthening the resilience and competitiveness of the financial services sector. In addition, OJK will also direct its policies to strengthen the financial services industry by redesigning the financial services industry and implementing firm consolidation so that financial industry players become stronger. The chairman of the OJK Board of Commissioners, Wimbo Santoso, hopes that the prepared initiatives can be a powerful remedy for the creation of a stable financial services sector and capable of realizing a quantum leap in the process of economic recovery.
Peta strategis dan inisiatif strategi OJK tahun 2021 telah ditetapkan oleh anggota Dewan Komisioner yang kemudian dijabarkan menjadi program strategis OJK tahun 2021. Inilah proses yang kita namakan cascading ke dalam program-program yang lebih detail, ya. Dan ini penting agar program-program kerja di setiap satuan kerja itu dapat terarah, termonitor, dan terukur serta dapat dievaluasi dengan baik.
Wimbo added that the various policies issued will be included in the 2020-2024 Financial Services Sector Master Plan, which is planned to be launched at the end of this year. From Jakarta, Gilang Praditya for IDX Channel.
Stay tuned on market headlines because we will be right back after this quick break.
Kemajuan di dalam digital banking itu meningkat. Ini menunjukkan bahwa digitalisasi is here to stay.
Saat ini lebih mudah untuk mendapatkan informasi mengenai perkembangan ekonomi dan bisnis di Indonesia dengan aplikasi IDX Channel. Mulai dari berita, makro dan mikroekonomi, politik hingga hiburan. Anda juga dapat berbagi artikel, foto, dan video ke semua platform media sosial yang Anda miliki. Beragam informasi hari ini bisa di-download di dalam aplikasi idxchannel.com. IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business, and Capital Market Channel.
Celebrations erupted across the country as Joe Biden was declared as the winner of the United States of America presidency. Economic observer from IndiHome assessed that in Joe Biden's presidency, the global economy will quickly recover, then followed by Indonesia's economy because Biden ensures that he will provide assistance to the emerging countries.
America has chosen Democrat Joe Biden as its 46th president. Aisha Rahbini, as the economic observer from IndiHome, stated that Joe Biden's presidency will give significant impact to Indonesia's economy. The bigger picture is that Biden will take several policies to save American business which are affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and observers assessed that by this movement, U.S. economy can recover faster. Therefore, global economy will heal soonest as well.
Dengan cepat. Dengan Biden menang, diharapkan memang ketidakpastian yang terjadi di perekonomian global akan lebih menurun, dan ketidakpastian ini faktor yang menjadi penting terhadap iklim usaha dan iklim investasi. Terutama untuk di Indonesia,
With the improvement in United States domestic economy, economic observer sees that this may accelerate the global economy, including Indonesia, amidst the current global uncertainty. And therefore, chance of investment will return to normal is higher. From Jakarta, Adi Firmansyah for IDX Channel.
Well, at first, Biden was initially written off as too old, too traditional to win the U.S. presidency. But look at him now. Leaders across countries have been congratulating U.S. President-elect Joe Biden and his running mate Kamala Harris following their victory. And of course, the United States elections will significantly impact to Indonesia. As a middle-income country, Indonesia tends to flourish when it actively participates in global multilateral and cooperative agreements. And expansions of Indonesia's long-standing partnership with the U.S. could be beneficial for both nations. And therefore, to examine more, we're going to have further discussions with Joshua Pardede as the Chief Economist of Pertama Bank. Hello, sir.
Hi, Clara. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, too. Thank you.
So as we know that Joe Biden is the winner of the U.S. presidency on Saturday, defeating Donald Trump. Does this align with your previous predictions?
Yes, I think the result is in line with our expectation, and I think also it is in line with the recent polls acquired by some media in the U.S. showing that by popular vote or electoral college vote, I think Joe Biden is leading over Trump. And from the domestic perspective itself, I think we've seen that the Trump's administration, under Trump's administration, there are so many dissatisfaction, particularly maybe for example, like from the farmers itself. We know that tariff war between U.S. and China pushed higher tariff on soybean commodities to China, and thus push lower income to soybean farmers. The trade war also drove dissatisfaction from some manufacturing in U.S., which imported capital and raw materials from China. As dissatisfaction among the segment increased, they were predicted to shift their choice or their vote to other candidate, which is Biden.
All right, sir. It's really interesting when you address about the soy and manufacturing sector. But however, sir, how can you assess Biden's victory in here in impact to Indonesia's economy?
Yes, I think after generalized system preference for Indonesia is extended before the election, I predict that there is no significant change in trade relation between U.S. and China. But from the positive side, we know that in the last 3 to 4 years, Trump has increased the volatility in the market due to his policy on import tariff on China's product. So basically, we hope that after Joe Biden winning the election this year, we hope the approach to the China itself will be more softer, and it will affect positively on the global economy and also global trade volume. And I think it is responded positively by market players. I think in the last couple of days, market responded positively on Joe Biden's winning.
All right, sir. From your perspective, which one is the better one, Trump or Biden, when it comes to market response?
Yeah, I think as I mentioned earlier that Joe Biden is highly expected due to the recent polls taken by local media, and we know that also. We know that Joe Biden's respectful approach to diplomacy and his deep knowledge of countries, including Indonesia and other so many Southeast Asian countries, I think there is good reason to infer that he will strive to restore but positive relationship with other countries. So basically, regarding to the approach to China, I think his diplomacy, I think, will be more accepted by the market and will not lead to the uncertainty in global markets.
All right, I see that you are pointing out that Joe Biden's presidency is more to certainty rather than a Trump uncertainty in the global market. So therefore, the market response is really good when it turns out to Joe Biden. But however, sir, you mentioned a lot of times regarding U.S. and China in here. How do you see trade war between U.S. and China under Biden's presidency?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that Biden still mentioned that he will still approach the China with other perspective, without like Trump did in the last 4 years, basically. So basically, we hope that the approach or the import tariff, although will be existing, I think the uncertainty on the global markets will be easing as well, and I think this will be positive in order to increase the global trade volume, which I think and on the other hand also it will also have positive effect on commodity prices, and I think Indonesia will benefit on this condition, whether global economy will be recovering faster, and also the global commodity prices also tends to be improving. I think this is positive for Indonesia's export to U.S. or to other countries.
All right, sir. You mentioned about volume of trade between U.S. and Indonesia. In here, that I would like to address is that in terms of exporting, which sector that you see that Indonesia could benefit from this Joe Biden's presidency?
Yeah, majority of Indonesian export to U.S. are textile, clothing, and other similar products, and maybe natural rubber. And up until now, the focus on Biden's policy is manufacturing sector, and which very dependent to China's manufacturing. So I think our money export would not be disturbed by Biden's inward-looking policies. On the other hand, we have opportunity to export processed nickel, because raw nickel is still have opportunity to export processed nickel, to U.S. as a part of global value chain for battery.
Yes,
and one of distinguished Biden's policy compared to Trump's is his focus toward sustainable energy policy. So battery is one of the components to support the policy. So I think this will benefit Indonesia's nickel exports in the near term.
Yes, sir. As we know that Joe Biden is really concerned of the climate change, and this will benefit our nickel. Okay, sir. So as expansions of Indonesia's long-standing strategic partnership with the U.S. could be beneficial for both nations, we hope nothing but the best for two countries under Biden's presidency. Sir, thank you for your time with us.
Thank you.
And yes, viewers, stay tuned on Market Headlines because we will be right back after this quick break.
Kepala BKPM Bahlil Hadalia bahkan mendorong investor untuk segera masuk ke kawasan industri yang disiapkan pemerintah.
Silakan para investor datang yang bawa modal, datang membawa teknologi, biarlah pemerintah yang mengurus izinnya.
Pembahasan pasal demi pasal Omnibus Law RUU Cipta Kerja menimbulkan berbagai polemik.
Nolak RUU Omnibus Law, khususnya klaster ketenaga kerjaan yang kami anggap mendegradasi hak-hak pekerja Indonesia.
BPS mengumumkan terjadi deflasi di bulan September.
Tapi di sisi lain, hampir seluruh sektor produktif ini mengalami pertumbuhan yang minus, maka perbankan pasti akan mengalami kesulitan untuk menyalurkan pembiayaan.
Bagaimana outlook UMKM di 2020 ini, Pak Leona?
Saya ingin mengajak terutama anak-anak muda, bagaimana caranya supaya nantinya ini bisa berkooperasi dengan baik. Dan ini sudah dimulai.
Nama saya Devisa Novel, jabatan saat ini di IDX Channel adalah sebagai produser dan sekaligus presenter program yang dibawakan saat ini dengan nama IDX Second Session Closing, terkait juga dengan kondisi capital market Indonesia dan perkembangannya dari waktu ke waktu. Dan saya sangat senang untuk belajar dan berkecimpung di berita ekonomi, khususnya di capital market.
Welcome back to Market Headlines. So let's take a look at Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. So earlier today, JCI was opened at the level of 5,371.35, and then approaching the closing time of the first session, the index was on the level of 5,329.98. And then the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session's closing time. The index was closed at the level of 5,356. In short, JCI went up 0.38%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's trading, we got mining as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 2.38%. Infrastructure that went up 1.18%. And next, as the leader of the weakening trend, we got music industry that went down 2.94%. And consumer goods that went down 0.84%. And moving on to the top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights for today's trading. ANTM went up 10.22% to the level of 1,240 rupiah per share. BBRI went up 3.65% to the level of 3,690 rupiah per share. BBNI went up 2.82% to the level of 5,100 rupiah per share. And Tower went up 3% to the level of 1,030 rupiah per share. And in terms for the top losers for the today's trading, we got Astro International that went down 3.86%. We got EXCL that went down 2.29%. We got HMSP that went down 1.04%. And Unilever that went down 1.55%. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. So rupiah opened at the level of 14,172. And rupiah was also showing strengthening trends towards US dollar and was closed at the level of 14,063. In summary, rupiah went up 1.54%. And as viewers, since the beginning of the year, coronavirus has affected the airline industry. But this time, Garuda Indonesia sees a sign of recovery. The company recorded a trend of increasing passengers by 17.9% in September compared to August.
Sign of recovery is getting clear for Garuda Indonesia, whereas the company recorded a trend of increasing passengers by 17.9% in September. Not only passenger growth, the national flight carrier, Garuda Indonesia, recorded a cargo transportation's growth of 40.11% in September compared to August. The President Director of Garuda Indonesia, Irfan Setiaputra, said that the trend of passenger growth has brought optimism for Garuda Indonesia in its effort to restore its fundamental performance during the pandemic. From all sources, IDX Channel.
IDX Yes, viewers, Indonesia's government and COVID-19 task force continue to strive to optimize the handling of COVID-19 cases, especially increasing of the recovery rate, and at the same time working hard to restore the national economy.
Although the third quarter economic growth contracted again year-on-year, but quarterly the Indonesian government stated that economic growth had improved, which was driven by the stimulus provided by the government for the business world, as well as optimization of the handling of COVID-19 in Indonesia. Based on this, the coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs said that the pace of the national economy was on track.
Global, dan kita melihat bahwa gas rem yang seimbang.
Meanwhile, in terms of handling COVID-19 cases, the task force ensures that so far, data shows that COVID-19 cases tend to be under control.
Kalau kita lihat perkembangan kasus nasional selama ini, sebenarnya menunjukkan tanda-tanda bahwa kasus COVID ini relatif terkendali. Meskipun juga ada libur panjang dan kita sudah pengalaman dengan beberapa libur panjang, mulai dari Idul Fitri, Idul Adha, kemudian ada pada saat hari kemerdekaan, memang ada peningkatan kasus cukup besar pada saat libur panjang bulan Agustus, dan situasinya terkendali setelah September ada kenaikan kasus.
Therefore, the government and the COVID-19 task force will continue to strive to optimize the handling of COVID-19 cases, which is expected to have a positive impact on accelerating the national economic recovery. From Jakarta, Fajar Wayong for IDX Channel.
Step aside from the market conditions, as coronavirus pandemic takes a big role on current economic situations, here it is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy academic, business, and capital market channel. And before saying goodbye, I would like to remind you on what Mom said. Please do comply with the health protocol by using mask, physical distancing, and avoiding crowd. Also, washing your hand often with soap through overflowing water. I'm Clara Antawijaya. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Halo pemirsa, apa kabar Anda di hari ini? Senang sekali saya Fajar Wayong kembali menjumpai Anda dalam program Hangout program yang akan mengajak Anda untuk mengenal lebih jauh emiten-emiten yang ada di Bursa Efek Indonesia. Dan kali ini saya akan mengajak Anda untuk berkunjung dan melihat langsung operasional dari emiten produsen kakao dan olahan coklat premium PT Wahana Interfood Nusantara Tbk langsung dari Bandung.